Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Thursday. We are just about 3:30. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. And those of you watching on the replay, please hashtag replay. And I'm really looking forward to today's conversation because we are going to talk about karma. And I think that this is a very appropriate topic in that in this new consciousness, in this new paradigm shift of energy, karma is one of those things that have shifted and what it means and how we're going to apply it to our lives now versus how we have in the past thought about it. So, welcome, Thomas. Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. It's good to be. I'm just sharing it out real fast.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, Lori. Hello. So, welcome for those of you who are joining me on my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe. I'm very excited to see those of you coming in from YouTube. That's really exciting to me. And those of you on Facebook, thank you. You know, if you're new, if you're not new, if you've been around for a while, or if you've been here since the beginning, I appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. So, hello, Lori. Hello, Karen. So excited for everybody who is joining us, whether it's from Facebook, YouTube, the groups that Thomas is sharing it out with, and everyone in between. So are we ready?
Oh, are we always ready? We're never ready. We're just going to become ready.
Yeah, Abraham says, you know, getting ready to be ready. And I do. I feel like I'm getting ready to be ready because I'm not ready.
So we're talking about karma today.
Yes.
All right. So what inspires this? What it brought this about is the conversation. So I know this has been something I have, lack of a better word, I think I've been told, people have talked about for a while. And ever since I even, started getting more spiritual and stuff, I was like, I've been talking about this for a while in a lot of different ways. And then I heard something in my journey about karma. That's old. It's actually not relevant anymore. Like, wait a minute here. People are saying karma this, karma that, just bad karma doing that. So I wanted, even I think a few weeks ago, we had someone on here talked about karma and said, I'm like, ooh, let's talk about it. Because it's interesting. We both listen to Cryon, we both listen to similar things, and one of the messages that are very common has been, what is karma?
Mm-hmm.
And we learned about this and we discussed this just 2 weeks ago. What is karma? Now and then. And to start this conversation, I think there's one really important thing that needs to be just clarified.
Absolutely.
There is two different, we've entered into a new phase, a new energy, a new timeline, a new consciousness, which happened around 1987.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, a switch happened. We went from an old system, an old energy, old ways, to our human consciousness was evolved more, and we became more conscious. We became more spiritual, more.
Yeah, so how I teach this is the energy that we came out of is that competitive, keeping up with the Joneses. What is everybody else doing? How can I achieve higher than them? And now we're coming into this cooperation, this more divine, feminine, creative, compassion energy, which is very diametrically different than where we were, which is why so many people are having this uncomfortableness going on within themselves, because it's like, how do I get out of that striving and driving, and how do I get into allowing? So that's the shift that the harmonic convergence brought us. And now so many people can feel that something's different. They just don't know what it is.
Yep. And to put some science behind it, at the same time frame, the Earth vibration shifted.
Mm-hmm.
The frequency that was being used by the military for decades, all of a sudden, when the Earth switched, when we switched into this new consciousness, it went from 7.2 slowly up to 8 to 9 to 10. I believe now it's between 11 and 12, somewhere around there. But
Wow.
it's shifted ever since then. And so the Army had to eventually shift all that. And part of this was a magnetic field was shifting also. And the neat thing about that is with the magnetic field, airports themselves align themselves with magnetic north. The runways, that's how they're designed.
Hmm.
Well, and finally in the late 90s, they realized something happened. Our runways are all off, and they had to start changing the runways because they finally realized and accepted the fact that magnetic north actually shifted. So all this shifting has been going on and been happening. So let's get to this karma. So there was a switch that happened, but it's important to understand from the very beginning. God, the higher being, whoever that you believe in, God did not, does not punish, and did not create systems to do that. Systems that do that, that punish, are created from the minds of humans
Hmm.
who always want God to be the great father that's in the sky.
Right.
And so they're the ones that brought out this idea of punishment, that idea of pain, suffering, like that has to go along with that. Um, there is no such thing in the same sense then of negative karma,
Right.
because karma itself was just an energy that was created to push humans in one way or another in their lives. Those first centuries, thousands of years, it was needed mainly because in the older earth energy that we were in, it was needed to move the earth's energy and vibration higher and lower because we were not there yet. It's about this karma, this old karma was about situations with other humans, unfinished business, interactions. And it was an energy that pushed us to be in your groups, to be in the places, these emotional energies that created from that. But it was the energy and the karma that pushed us to do things to help the earth, to help raise our vibration, to help humanity. It never pushed people to create or do bad things. That was never ever it, and it never worked that way. It always was here to help people be in the right place at the right time.
Hmm.
To be at the right place at the right time. And never negative. And it was never punishing. And I hear so many times, oh, that's just your karma coming back at you. No, it's not your karma coming back. Your energy is not pushing you into negative thing. It's pushing you where you need to be in the right place at the right time. That's the old side. That's what was.
Hmm.
When the shift happened, we can say to ourselves, I release my karma. I want to be free of any of that old karma. Now, anyone born before 87 came in with the old karma. Anyone born after 87 came in with the new energy. They
Hmm.
came in already up and higher conscious. So, like myself, I did this. Uh, I did this like a year plus ago, and I said I released my karma. Now, the one thing that happens when you come to it and when you actually go through that whole session can be, if you're not ready, you need to say that on a regular basis to fully get rid of it. You literally say to your guides, "I release my karma. I release my karma." Anything that's still lingering out there in that energy will still come in from the past, but it's gone.
And it's not coming in from the past to hurt you.
Right.
It's coming in the past to move you away from what no longer
Mm-hmm.
serves you or what is not for you. So, karma really is moving you out of that bad relationship or that stagnant job or that comfortability that isn't moving you forward and growing you. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people can say it's bad, but really what it's doing is it's getting you out of your comfort zone and it's making you uncomfortable. comfortable. So I think that's where if people can start differentiating that, they can see that it's not bad. It's actually doing good things for you, but it doesn't feel good when it's happening.
Yep. And so when it happens, like, think about this. When I released it, a month later, I was in the hospital with COVID, and a few months later, I was having surgery to have a tumor removed. All things that I needed to be pushed to get into a focus, to get into what I needed to be doing,
And
and to
clearing out
get
the old.
understanding that absolutely. That brings us to this new energy. It's in this new energy where we don't need karma anymore to push us. And that's important. It's very important to understand. We do not need karma and that karmic energy to push us anymore because we changed it. And you now push yourself exactly where you are meant to be when you are meant to be there. This also brings with it a level of total responsibility for all that is around you. And that's tough for people to accept. Total responsibility for all that is around you because there are no accidents. Because we are now in the time of co creation.
There it is.
We are creating where we need to be and when we need to be there. And we are pushing the energy. We push it out. It's not pushing us anymore. And that is the spiritual evolution being given to us all right now. So there's two big different things. Karma, the old way karma was, what karma was, and it still is, because there's a little asterisk always with this. It was pushing us to where we needed to go and where we needed to be. We were trying to go with the flow and deal with what it was having to us. But in this co-creation that we're in, we are the drivers. We push it. We bring it out there. We go where we want to go, when it's supposed to be, and how it's supposed to be there. Now, it's also important to understand, if we do not fully accept that, we will struggle with this. Because even though the karma is gone, if we feel that it's what we are going to get punished. So let's say you feel you need to get punished. You're blaming it on karma. What you're doing is you are co-creating that karma to come to you in the way you see it happening. You're now just taking the responsibility off of yourself and giving it to something else. And so we can see these things happen, and they can be from that old energy, but it's because you are saying, come back to me, because you're co-creating it in the new energy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very tough concept to get, because you've got to think of it as two different types of energies. One pushed us to where we want to be, but now we can push ourselves where we want to be. But a part of that ability to do that is we can push anything, because we are creating it. We are co-creating it. And so that could be things you might not want. If you bring them forth to you, they're going to come forth to you because you are co-creating it with the responsibility that you have. But that, in the simplest term, is karma in the old pushed us. Never was a negative thing. It was never here to punish. That idea of punishment was not us, and not God. It was not karma. It was us.
Yes.
Trying power struggle, control, fear. That's how you control people, through power, fear, and punishment. And the simplest way of doing that is you blame it on God, because it's the easiest thing
Yeah.
to do.
Right. So, how would you answer this? So, Cynthia says, doesn't karma also show you through the mirror effect of seeing ourselves in others?
Seeing ourselves in others is a different thing. Seeing ourselves in others is actually soul sharing. So we are all one. I think I'd mentioned this a little before. We are all one. When we leave this plane, this vessel, and we are in our spiritual self, we are all technically connected as one. So the idea that you're talking to is soul sharing. when we connect with someone, now largely this is because someone has been in our past lives. Which of those people around us largely have been in our past lives? We've had where anyone that comes to us, have some type of contract with. Okay, we're developing these contracts all the time. But when we look at someone and we see from them a reflection of us, what we're seeing is our soul inside of them, because we are part of them and they're part of us. And so sometimes when you have those really great connections with people, or you're seeing something like that, you're seeing the reflection of you in them that they're projecting out to you, because you can see it because of a connection you have with them, which might be deep and spiritual and this loving thing that you can't explain. It could be very much at the surface level where you just saw a glimpse of you and them, because we are all the one. We are all one with God. We are all together. We are all connected in that way. And so it's not karma you see in them, because that's nothing you can see. That's an old thing. It is just your own soul you're seeing in them. Now, on this same path, and as we're going, so I feel this is what is being connected with this. It's also understand our lenses, how we perceive and see things. I'm getting really deep with this. Imagine going to a high school reunion. All right, a 25-year high school reunion. It's the best way to describe it. When you go to that high school reunion, you, believe it or not, you are going to expect the people you meet to be just like they were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Because your lens and perspective is that. And so if you even meet someone, they might have changed, they might have evolved and grown. They might be at a higher level and a frequency. They might have left the old energy and gone to new energy. Things can change. And the thing, but if you haven't changed or recognized the change yourself, you're going to still see the old patterns. You're still going to perceive them the way they were. And so one neat way of saying this, it's crazy thing I learned, let's really go about old and dark energies. If you've had a perception of someone with a dark energy around them, until you yourself understand the acceptance of what that dark energy is and how it related to you and where it cannot be and can be, you're going to always associate that. You're always going to associate that thing, that whatever, with that person, even though that person might have moved on and gone to a whole other space. But because you perceive it with them and you're at that level with them, I know this is really deep here. We're at the level with them. That's what you're going to see, because you yourself had that experience. And so now, once again, you're reflecting yourself, your own soul, your own sharing. You're reflecting what you are perceiving with that, because you are projecting it out there. And so it's another way of looking at it, but it's always about, if you see things like that, have those connections like that, and you feel like you're seeing your own soul, even when you see some of this stuff, it very well can be. It's not always this way, but it very well can be. Like the dark stuff can be a little different, but you got it. That's a different, more complicated discussion.
Yeah.
The soul sharing is not karma. It's just you are Sarah. We all are part of each other. And that's what we're seeing, because we are part of each other.
Yes, I love it. And Lori says, it's funny, I hadn't even thought about karma since I started this path a few years ago.
Yeah, because let's be real. I'm getting very blunt right now. Let's be real. We are taught when you get into this journey, okay? Most people, when they start this journey, they're started there's levels. I'm not saying there's levels, one's better than the other, but there's not the way it is. But there's different, as you go along the path, you're going to learn different things at what you learn. You can't start here and learn and then jump right to here, because you're missing all the stuff in the middle. So you've got to start and go up. I know, and Stacia's probably on there listening, like, oh my goodness, he's finally listening to me. You got to start here and take baby steps. Is that better? Baby steps. Part of that is understanding that karma was there. And one of the challenges is the old energy is still here. And I was born in 79. I'm 42. Okay. So those born in 87, they're in the 30s. The ones teaching, the ones that are shamans, the ones that have been most spiritual, a lot of them haven't left the old energy, because that's what they feel comfortable with. And that's normal. That's okay. We feel comfortable with that old energy. We do. And so we're taught about karma, because karma is what's pushed us. We are also taught that karma was bad. You had good and bad karma. It's just what we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taught about karma. And we're thought, oh, what comes around goes around, comes around, goes. You got to release your karma. It's just karma coming back to you. It's not karma that's coming back to you, because karma just pushes you where you need to be. However, there is things that come back. It's not called karma. That which comes back to you is very specific to you, and it's called life lessons. This is often confused with karma, but it has a very different and distinct purpose. Life lessons are totally and completely personable, and they're all about you with you.
So, do you think that would go into what Cynthia says here? I was referring to aspect personal traits we need to work on.
Yes,
Okay.
that's not karma. That are life lessons, and they are all about you with you. They can have a little karmic connection to them because you were pushed there and you want to, but it's really all about you. And these are carried on from expression. And expression is every time you reincarnate. Uh, but it's unlike karma. This is done in a different way. Karma pushes you around, but a life lesson helps you advance to a higher vibration. Karma pushes you in a direction. Life lessons help you advance. So, a couple examples of these, and there can be some overlay, but examples of these are like you wanting to learn to love, to listen, learning not to be a victim, learning not to let anyone define you. Uh, think about family traits. If you are, in your family, you go from, where's I got the quote here exactly. You're going from one, everyone in your family's a firefighter for like 5 generations. That's a life lesson you're learning. And you're trying to learn that lesson. It's something you need to learn in the lesson. So it's about the lessons you want to learn for you to elevate you up to higher ascension, get where you want to go. So those are different than karma.
Yeah. And so karma right now, well, the karma that they're thinking about where it was bad and the pushing was uncomfortable, um, was taking you to those life lessons. It was kind of the
Hmm.
impetus to get to the life lesson. You almost had to get like forced out of your comfort zone to get into the life lesson. So if you're starting a spiritual awakening journey or ascension journey, whatever you want to call it, yeah, you're going to have to be made uncomfortable before you're going to start taking the steps on the path, whether they're baby steps or one step at a time. It's all about moving. It's all about moving up the vibrational frequency chart so that you can get out of the fear, the victimization, the unworthiness, and all of that mucky stuff. So you can get up into and moving through boredom and contentment and anger, which is better than fear, but not quite yet to gratitude and love, which
Right.
ultimately is where we're headed. So it's karma right now is helping you co-create your reality by pushing you out of where you're comfortable. Because let's face it, if we're comfortable, we're going to stay here, but that's not going to help us grow or evolve into our mission or our purpose why we're here. And so this co-creating our reality is really where we have to start now learning how to do that so that we can have the experience that we want to have and not end up somewhere we don't want to be.
Right. And so you ask a good point, and here's how do we do that. And so let me share some good news.
Okay.
In this energy we're in now, all of our life lessons are on the table to be solved. Okay, that's good news. All of our life lessons can be solved. Will we solve them all in one time? Probably not. Okay, but they're all there to be solved because of this new energy. Because it's no longer karma pushing the life lessons. We are going to them. We are creating them. We are putting them forth. So the question is asked by people is how do we identify these life lessons? The bad part is the answer can only be discovered by you.
Mm,
Okay? But here are some ways to help discover the answer. What do you react to?
mm,
What is your Achilles heel? Your weakness? What is your purpose? What areas of your life, such as love, health, abundance, finances, do you feel is lacking? Think about those. And guess what you're going to find and discover? You're going to discover what your life lessons are. Because what you're reacting to is something you're needing to learn.
Mhm.
What your weaknesses are is something you need to overcome. What is your purpose? Ask that. Well, that's what you're striving to do. And where are you lacking? It's because that's what you've been needing and wanting. And now that you can ask those questions, it's no longer karma pushing you to trying to get the life lessons. It's you saying, I want financial freedom and abundance. And I'm going to get that. And I'm going to co create that. I want an amazing house that's going to blow everyone's mind that they're not going to believe I got this house. I'm going to create this. And that's what it's going to be. And in a way that no one is going to be like, what happened? I'm like, yeah, that's what happened. And this is why I got this house. That's what it's going to be.
Mhm.
You have the power to create it. It's all there in front of us. But it starts with you. It starts with you knowing that you are capable and you are loved and you have all the gifts you need to do it and you are so deserving of it. Because we are going through this new energy. We're in this new energy. Karma's not there. There's no bad karma. There was never been a punishment. God has never came down here to punish people.
No.
That was all made by
Man-made.
man. God is here to love people. We've had to go through things, yes. It's because of free will. The people always come back to me, well, what about this, this, this? It's free will.
There it is.
Free will is here.
Yeah.
Free will, the ability to have free will brings in the ability for bad things to happen.
Yeah.
Because you have the choice.
And that's why we're here. We're here to have the choice. We are.
Mhm.
And I really want to highlight the point that you made that you can come to what your life lessons are by really becoming aware of how you think about things or how you feel about things, because that is where your indicators are about what is your blockage, what is your stumping ground. And, I also have been coming to some awareness of where my blockages are. So I really feel like this is this karma conversation earlier. I think Karen asked, why are we talking about karma today? And I think because it's in the energy field. I think that because a lot of people are wondering why they're being bumped out of or moved out of things that they've been very comfortable in. And they're like assigning this, well, it's karmic, it's, a punishment. And in the energy field, we need you to know it's not a punishment. It's you ascending and needing to be on the road of your life purpose. And so really starting to look at, why am I comfortable being in this situation that doesn't feel good? Or why am I comfortable being in this situation that isn't giving to me in any way? And there is your life lesson, that you're playing the victim, or you're feeling like you don't deserve, or you're in grief in a way that it's not allowing you to live. So really look at how you're thinking and how you're feeling about things. That is where your life lesson is, and that's where this new energy of co-creating what you want and allowing it to enter your vibration by doing the work and healing those parts of yourself that are holding you back, getting yourself out of your comfort zone.
And so these life lessons, they are not, your life lessons are what you come into this life saying you want to work on. These are not things that automatically pop up randomly. That you came into here, and you always, with that free choice, have the choice to say, yes, I want my life lesson. No, I'm going to ignore it. And I love this example that Cryon gives. He goes, do you know people who are absolutely stuck with the same issue over and over and over again? They're often miserable and always tell others they can't get their life together. Or perhaps they seem to enjoy the drama of it all. The life lesson of that person can easily be figured out.
Yeah.
It's for them to step out of the distraction and the drama and move into an self-examination. but they don't have to this time. And they'll probably come back in their next life, and that will be what they'll repeat until it is solved. When you solve it, you get another one. We have them here, and you can. So there's multiple ones you can handle, but they're not bad things. They're just things, as we talked about. They send to help us be better, help us all around it. And we are at such an amazing time.
Yeah.
People don't realize what time we're at. This is like centuries from now. This is what they're going to be talking about.
Yeah, and all the change that we're going through and how we navigate it. Absolutely. And understanding that we're not being punished and that there's nothing that's going to punish us. It's all our choice to co-create or not to
Mm-hmm.
co-create. And that's really what it comes down to, because free will is the big game changer as to, what we're going through on Earth and why we're here on Earth, to be able to have that free will choice. And I've talked about this for a long time, and how, if you choose not to listen to it, that's okay, but you're going to get the lesson. It's going to come back around. It won't go away. And that's why, if you're willing to go in the direction that you're being nudged or feel pushed into going, to co-create your reality, that's where spirit's going to come in and say, hey, we're going to give you the secret sauce. We're going to give you the nudges. We're going to give you the signs. We're going to give you the resources. We're going to give you the help if you trust us. And that's where the faith and the surrender come in. So these are big concepts. And I feel like this won't be the last time we talk about this, because there's a lot here. And unfortunately, we are out of time.
Before we go, I'm going to say one more thing for people to think about. Because once again, when we hear the word karma, we always put the negative connotation with it. We always do. It just happens. It's not to punish. So the next time, or the last time this happened to you, and you felt, oh my goodness, karma just kicked me in the butt, or you just sat down crying on the floor of your kitchen because you feel like karma's all coming back to you, whatever. Before you blame anything, before you truly blame anyone else, stop.
Yeah.
Think about your responsibility in all of it. We can't control others' actions. We can control our own reactions. You can't change the past, but you can change the present and the future. And so instead of wallowing and saying karma is going to come back around again, how can you co-create something different? How can you be different? And how can you make your life better? And do that to work yourself out of whatever's going on. Because you will see things happen in a way that you cannot imagine them ever happening, in a way that makes you smile and be so much happier and brighter. I'm going to stop there. Because you deserve it. And it will be wonderful. Because you can do it. We're going to stop there. I assume I think you have to go. And we'll talk next week.
Absolutely.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Perfect. Yes. All right, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your Thursday. Set your intention to have an amazing weekend. We're sending you so much love and so many blessings, and we'll talk to you soon. You're welcome.